Most Pinoys skip this step, reading the contract before building their dream house. But what's in your contract will either protect you or destroy your budget. This is one of the most valuable services we offer at Homebase, reviewing contracts, and I'm going to share with you what you should have in your contract today. I've been in construction for over 10 years, so let's get started. Why do contracts matter? Many homeowners think that once they've selected their contractor, the project will go smoothly, but verbal promises are worthless in court. Only written agreements matter. When problems arise, only the written word protects you from exploitation. Plus, a poorly written contract can leave you with delays, extra charges, and unfinished work. So if you're planning to build your dream house, read on. Here are the 10 things every construction contract in the Philippines must include. Number 1. Full scope of work. This is where the contractor describes all the works to be done. It includes site development, foundation, up to roofing, finishing, and other special requests like built-in furniture. This is important, so there won't be any surprises along the way. You can also attach a sketch showing these works to avoid confusion. Number 2. Start and completion dates. This should be stated clearly in your contract. It's good to set a realistic timeline based on your scope of work. For example, a 2-story house with a simple roof may take 6 to 8 months, while a 3-story house with a complex roof design may take 9 to 12 months. Take note of this, though your contractor may ask for a longer time frame in the contract. In our experience, it is better to give them a shorter timeline and beat the deadline than to state a long timeline and miss the deadline. Of course, communicate with your contractor and try to reach a realistic timeline that works for both parties. No. 3. Payment schedule. This is a list of how much money you will pay for the project and when you will pay. Some contractors prefer to receive 10% down payment before starting the project. Then after that, payments will be done in phase. After foundation, after the first floor is finished, after the second floor is finished, and finally, 10% upon completion. The final 10% is held as a retention until all defects are corrected and warranties are fulfilled. One thing to remember here. This is a general rule of thumb. Be sure to include this clause in your contract. Payments shall be made as agreed upon by both parties. Any change order outside the original contract scope of work will result in an updated payment schedule? No. 4. Variation order procedures. A variation order is a change request on the original scope of work. This is important because during construction, you may ask for For example, you may want to change some fixtures, add built-in furniture, or make other design adjustments. It's best to document all changes to the original scope of work. To avoid confusion and future claims, here are the steps for handling variation orders. No. 1. Submittal of request. The homeowner or contractor submits a written request for a change. No. 2. Evaluation of requests. Both parties meet to discuss the pros and cons of the proposed change. No. Preparation of change order. If approved, the new scope of work is attached to the contract. And number 4. Signing of the change order. Both parties sign the updated contract. Note that any verbal change order is not valid. Always put it in writing. No. 5. Penalties for delay. It is important to state in the contract how much the contractor will be penalized for each day of delay. Here's how to calculate the penalty. Multiply the amount by the number of days of delay. For example, if the project should have been completed in 120 days, but the contractor finished it in 140 days, the contractor will be penalized 100 per day for 20 days. That's 2,000 pesos. You can use this penalty for liquidated damages or negotiate with your contractor for a penalty to be agreed upon by both parties. Please note, this is not an excuse for you to delay your payments. If you finish paying for the project, but the contractor does not finish on time, then you can deduct the penalty from your final payment. No. 6. Warranties and defects liability. This is where the contractor guarantees the quality of their work. It covers the repair of cracked walls, leaking roofs, electrical issues, and plumbing problems. Typically, contractors give a warranty of at least 6 months to a year. However, major items such as plumbing and electrical works usually have a longer warranty. We recommend a minimum of 2 years. For major items, ensure that the contractor provides a manufacturer's warranty, certificate for appliances, fixtures, and other materials used. This will cover repairs beyond the defects liability period given by the contractor. Remember, never accept a warranty that is less than 6 months. Number 7. Materials specifications. This is a list of all the materials to be used in your house. If you opt for an itemized bill of quantities or BOQ, then this section is a must. For example, if your contractor uses hollow blocks, specify the brand, compressive strength, and size. This will help prevent the contractor from using low-quality materials. No. 8. BOQ or Bill of Quantities. This is an attachment to the contract that lists down all the materials, labor, and equipment needed for the entire project. This gives you a summary of the estimated cost for the project, and it helps track expenses. Without a bill of quantities, it's easy for the contractor to increase the cost of materials and inflate the total project cost. You can use the bill of quantities to compare actual costs to estimated costs. In addition, you can choose to pay your contractor using the BOC as a basis. We always encourage our clients to use the BOQ reference because it keeps the contractor honest. Also, if you have a trusted contractor who has been recommended by friends or family, you can still benefit from the BOQ. Using a BOC as a reference will help you monitor your expenses. If your contractor completes the project under budget, you can even ask them to share the savings. Number 9. Insurance and safety provisions. The contractor should provide insurance that covers third-party liability and death or injury to workers. This will protect you from lawsuits arising from accidents within the construction site. Moreover, the contractor must submit their safety program to ensure the safety of workers. Number 10. Termination clause. This is a provision in the contract that explains when the agreement can be terminated. It also explains how disputes will be resolved. There are several reasons why a contract can be terminated. The homeowner or contractor fails to fulfill their obligations. The owner terminates the contract due to the contractor's bankruptcy or poor performance, or the project is economically or financially unfeasible. All these scenarios can cause problems for both parties. That's why it's important to include a termination clause in the contract. This will prevent misunderstandings and legal disputes in the future. Here's a real case study. One homeowner skipped the bill of quantities in their contract. He trusted his contractor and didn't think it was necessary. Midway through the construction, the contractor asked for more money because the cost of materials went up. The homeowner was shocked. He did not expect the price to increase, and he couldn't afford it. In the end, he had to borrow money from relatives to pay the contractor. Another client had no delay penalties in her contract. Her contractor took 4 months longer than expected to finish the house. If she had a penalty clause, she could have recovered some of her lost money. I've shared with you the 10 important items in your construction contract. Download our free checklist so you don't make mistakes when hiring your contractor. Click the link below to get instant access. Protect your dream home before it becomes your biggest regret. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new today. If you're ready to build your dream house, contact us today for project estimates and other valuable tips. Our service is free. To schedule a meeting with our experts, visit our website and book online. See you next time.